Welcome to Tech Brothers with Amir. In this video, we are going to learn how to export all the tables to flat files dynamically from SQL Server Database in SSIS. So this is very common requirement. There are a lot of people, they ask, hey, I have tons of table right here in one of the database. I want to export them. Or maybe a list of the views, maybe they have created a list of the views that they would like to export, or mix of them. Maybe they have created a table that contains a schema name and table names and views name, and they would like to extract those list of those tables and views and just export the data to the CSV files. So this scenario can be used for all those three, where you have a list of the tables in a table. You have created a staging table, or somewhere you have a list of tables and view the add entries in that table, or you just want to get all those tables from your database. So with a small simple select query, I'm going to explain that part, like how you can make choices. You don't want to do all of them. Let's say you want to get only the staging tables, so you would like to get all the tables which are in the STG schema. You would like to export only the tables which are in the DBA. So there are a lot of scenarios you can cover with this package. Now let's go ahead and create it. Open the SSDT. Let me close this one. I was working on something. Let's close, and here we have SSDT SQL Server Data Tools. Now we'll be creating a new package. Right click, new SSIS package, and I'm going to call this one export. Come on, export all tables. In my case, I'm going to do all tables, but this can be modified, export all views, or export mix of views and tables, or export tables only for this schema, or views from this schema. So there are a lot of scenarios you can cover from here. First of all, you will be making some variables. So once you have the variables, you can use in configuration and change small values, and that can change the functionality of your package. Also, as you are going to deploy the packages on QA, UAT, and production, there are some folders and all those kind of structure. They are not same on the on these environments, so you have to provide different values by using the variables in the configuration. That's quite easy, so you can do that. First of all, I'm going to call this one destination folder. That's where I would like to create my all those CSV files or text files from the for the tables in the database. So I'm gonna go back here in the folder structure and go to the videos here in my case, and I have a destination folder. Let me delete these files there. Copy the path, provide the path right here. Now the next part is what type of extension you would like for your files. I'm going to make this one as a variable, so you can change if you like. In my case, I'm going to use first .txt, but we will be able to change to .csv if you like. Okay, now file extension. How about file delimiter? That's also important. So I'm going to say, okay, for now use the comma. I can use the pipe or tilde or whatever I would like, just by changing these values. I will test and show you what I mean by that. And last thing, we need a log folder path. In case our package fail, we would like to see why it failed. So I'm writing some information from the script test to the log folder, as we will create an error log file. All good here, log. Now, as we need to read the data from the database, we need a connection manager. Right click here, create ADO.NET connection, and here we have already connection. I'm gonna drop it, recreate the new one. So if you're first time here, you can see we have to provide the SQL Server instance name, and on top of that we will be providing the database name. It's taken some time, so let's use this one and say TechBrothersIT. That's the database name. Fine, hit OK, hit OK. Now let's rename this one. I'm going to rename this one called the DB connection, and then TechBrothersIT. So you can change to your sales or customer, whatever the database you are using. From here I'm using Tech Brothers, you can use the sales. So by using a right name, when you are creating a configuration for this connection manager, you can tell right there, hey, this connection manager is pointing to this database. bring the script task in the control flow pan, open it, and then add these variables. So I'm using C# for scripting. You can use Visual Basic if you like. So I'm not going to provide the script though. There are online tools that you can take C# code and convert to your Visual Basic if you like. Hit OK. Now go to edit script. I already have written the script and posted on the website called TechBrothersIT. You can go there and copy paste your script. Let's go there and take a look. Here we have a TechBrothersIT website, and let's say you are on the top of the website. You just open it and now you go to the SSIS video tutorial. Once you are there, you are going to go all the way down and find a script task. Under the script task, you will come further down. Here you see a lot of material. There is a lot of Excel source and destination dynamic scenarios. You can take a look if you are interested, but you are mostly coming here, dynamic text and CSV file with script task. And at the end, what we have here, how to export all the tables from a database to CSV files with datetime in SSIS. Open that one. I have written the post, so if you are not interested to listen me anymore, you can just stop the video and follow from here. You can see all these steps are written there, post, picture, everything there, so no big deal. First of all, we will be copying this namespaces and adding to our script task. Go back to the namespaces tab here, click there, enter, and then paste. We are using system.io, so as we are going to create some more files, we'll be using different functions and or methods or instances from this namespace. As we are reading the data from SQL Server, we will be using this namespace, system.data.sql client. Let's come down, and here we see public void main. This is a function. That's where we need to paste the code. I'm removing the DTS part and success because this part is written in my code. So go back to your post here, and now we are going to copy this whole thing till here. So copy and then come back and paste it right here. Paste and post. So we are pasting it here, not posting, because I was posting some blog. That's why I was saying posted. Okay, so you go to build and then just build it. Once you build it, it will be succeeded fine, but there are some errors that script task didn't took a look, or it did not validate. Few things, the variable names, if you have different variable names, it might pass them and say, oh, okay, build succeeded, because it does not take these variables and go against SSIS and verify or validate. So that's can be a problem. We have destination folder, we have file delimiter and file extension. So these variables, let me take a look. We have file delimiter, we have file extension, destination folder, looks fine. So good with that. And next part, see here I have a connection manager. So I'm using the ADO.NET connection manager that I created. So that is even wrong. So we have DB underscore connection, and then we have TechBrothersIT. The same way you have to change according to yours. Whatever is yours, you change it. Now we are going to read this entire script and try to understand. First of all, what I'm doing here, I'm declaring a string type variable called datetime, and saving the datetime to it. So I can use in different places, such as when I'm creating the error file at the end, in case the error happen. So in the catch block, I'm using this one right here, and maybe right here, see, when I'm creating the file. So I also want to add the datetime to it. Now let's go step by step and take a look. Here we declare some variables and say string, destination folder, file delimiter, file extension. You will be surprised why I haven't used this and why I'm creating these new ones. I am creating these new variables so I can save the value of SSIS variables to them and use them anywhere, because these are a lengthy way to use the variables from SSIS. I don't want to write everywhere. So think about that, this whole line adding till here, 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 so many places. That's why I created these variables, and I can use them as the values are going to be same. So we have saved the values. Now use the ADO.NET connection from SSIS package to get data from the table. So this is the connection we are using, and then read list of the tables with schema from the database. See, this is the most important part right here. As you can see that I'm getting everything from this database. So let me copy and go back here and go to this SQL, and let's say right here TechBrothersIT, paste this query, and you can see now it is telling us all those tables. See, and if I'm only interested to get the tables from STG schema, I can change that. So simply where we have this part, fine, and now I can do multiple things here, and right here, sorry, and is equal to STG. So this is how I can filter these records. Whatever I want, I can change that. Now it will only export the tables which are in staging schema. You can also create a variable and use in this query. So you, like the same way I created these variables here, you can create the schema variable and then just simply replace it right here and have that variable right here with the and. So this query will be filtered. So that's where I'm saying, like, you can change this query, or actually the quite easy way will be, maybe you would like to just create the variable where you will save this query. So you can even change to the views or whatever query you want to filter and have this variable and use the configuration. So you go to configuration and paste this query there in the configuration table. The variable will read, and then it will only get those table or the views which you are interested to create the flat files for them. So fine, this is the trick. You don't want to come back every time to be straightforward. If I will be you, I will never come back to my package and make a change. I will create a variable for this query and then change in the configuration and let it read from the configuration table, and always create the flat files from there. Now in this case, as I'm loading the or creating the flat files for the entire database tables, I'm fine with that. Now here we are saying, okay, SQL command and telling which query to use, and now run it. Once this is executed, will save the data into the data table. Now we have the schema and tables. So you see that here, as I'm getting the schema and table names right here, this will be saved in memory. Once it is saved, I have to loop through and then create the file. So this is where I'm looping through. So you see, I'm saying, okay, declaring a variable, then looping through that and getting this array, and saying array zero, that's, I know that is schema, and array 1 is my table. So I save that value. So first time it saved the very first value, and then second time it next, and keep doing it. While it is doing that one, I'm building a file full path. So file destination folder / schema name _ table name date time file extension. So in your case, you might be interested, I don't want the schema, I just want the table name. So you can remove this part. Okay, if you are not interested in date time, fine, delete the date time. So you can change these small things and work accordingly. Now I have define the file full path. Now I need to get the data for that table. So I will say data query, select asterisk from schema name plus table name. So I get that data. Once we have loaded the data to the d _ table data table, so run this query, table data will be loaded into memory. Now we are going to have a stream writer. So we are creating a new instance of stream writer, so we can tell to write to this file, and we have file full path already defined, which whatever is the file for that path. So we have created a path for that file. So that's what it is going to use and create a file, and then we are writing the data. So here we have an integer column count and looping through those columns, and then we are writing the column value, and then we are writing the data. So this is for each loop. This is going to happen for each of the line, and every time a new line will be added, it will jump to the next line, loop through, write the data, come to the next. And once the data is done for entire table, so it will close the file and then success. Then come back to the next table, as we are using for each, and then get the next schema and table name and keep working till all the tables are done. Now in case of error, this part will be executed and error log file will be created in the log folder, and exception will be written to there. So let's save it, close it, and experiment and play with it and enjoy the success and failures. Now let's run it. I hope it will be successful. I like that when it's successful, but sometimes errors are also good. So save it, close it, and now you see, wonderful. We have all those files created successfully. Each file, let's say double click here and see that, okay, great, we have ID and Excel file name and cell value. So this is comma delimited file. Awesome, this is really great. I'm so excited about that because in one click you created all those files. But there are a few things we need to consider. I will talk about that in just a second. Now instead of comma, we would like to put what you call the pipe sign. Fine, run it and let's see if this works for us. If not, maybe I have to make a change. But I'm hoping this should work just fine. Let's see. Now we see that we have schema name underscore table, then date time added to it. Double click. Awesome. See, this is so great. Like every time you don't have to worry a new table is added to the database or deleted. Your package is going to take that every table and create the files for you. This can be used for migration, and there are a lot of scenarios where you will be using this one. And I remember I was telling you like where you have to have list of the table. This is where it really works best for you. So you can change the list and maybe create the view, have the views and tables together in one table. You can create that table by yourself and keep adding for whatever the table you want to create the flat files on daily basis. Now instead of txt, if I'm interested to CSV, will this work? Let me see. So go ahead and run your package. This is a lot of talk, and I understand you guys are very busy and there are a lot of other things to do, but with these small scenarios you're going to learn a lot, and it will make your life easy. So you see that we have files here. These files were created before, and we didn't delete them, but we could have deleted them by fine, no big deal. And here are our new CSV files created. So open this one, take a look. Excellent. So we have ID, we have Excel file path and cell value. So you see that this is how we are creating a CSV file or text files by just changing the variable value. Now lesson to learn from here. As you are exporting all the tables from the database, so if your database is 100 gigs, what you will do, how much time it will take, I have no idea on your computer and resources, CPU, memory, and what other processes are running on your system. I will suggest you to run on your dev, QA, and UAT and production. And see, I will not go to production right away, but run on a dev, QA, and UAT and test that out, how much time it take. You see that there are two things that are happening here. Now in my case, I am reading everything in one script task. So this is a script task. It is going to write sequentially. It will read one table, write it, read one table, write it. How about if I will use my brain and say, fine, I need to write the data from these tables. So maybe I will create 3 different type of script task. In one script task, I will read with the where class, where schema name is equal to staging. Another one right here, I will have another one in parallel and then do not connect them, and I say okay, where schema is equal to DBO. So I can distribute my tables in different script tasks. I can write read from, let's say if I have 5 script tasks in parallel, and I have defined the way I want to filter those tables in each of the script tasks, I can run 5 different schema script tasks, and okay, they will be running writing data to the 5 different files. So that will be faster. So you have to think, okay, if it is small database, fine, it take me 10 minutes, no big deal, 20 minutes, no big deal. And if you want to have parallel processing, go ahead, copy this right here and say okay, I'm going to paste it right here, and now I'm going to go inside and change my query. Again, to be straightforward, I don't recommend coming back to package and making changes. I will recommend, okay, create say a variable called query1, and then here write the query that should be used here, and then write and create another variable query2. So you have query2, and then use this variable whatever let me write this query for you. This query should be coming from your configuration. Let's say if I will write, I will say select asterisk from this table, where select the schema name and table name, comma table name from let's say we have a the table list where schema is equal to DBA. So now I use this query here. Another one I will use the second query. So you understand my point, what I'm trying to say. So have these different queries and you can divide your number of tables across these script tasks. They will be dynamic, they will be running in parallel, and what you are doing in maybe 1 hour, that can be done in 10 minutes. So I hope you learn good stuff from me, and I appreciate your time. And one more time, I'm going to put the script in the description of the video, so you can just go from there. You don't have to go to TechBrothersIT, find this post and then copy and paste the script. I hope this video will help, and thanks, and I will see you guys next time.